Good afternoon. Welcome to the backyard. So, a lot of you guys out there, I notice on the forums and whatnot, talk about how hard it is to clean up a black powder gun. Got to scrub on it for hours and hours and hours, and got to have special chemicals and a whole different kit and all of this. It's just not worth it. You got to shoot smokeless powder out of those things, and that's a real problem because, well, when you've got a case that size, there's not really that many smokeless powders that are bulky enough to fill that case up and get safe ignition without causing peak pressures because of flashover and all kinds of nasty stuff that can and will blow your gun to smithereens in your face. The problem with all of that is I've never had that problem. We consulted the Army manuals from the 1860s on cleaning black powder firearms. Of course, this is dealing with muzzle loaders, such as one that's pretty common in the reenacting field is the Sessoin rifle, also known as the 1863 Remington 58 caliber front loader. And yeah, it's a difficult process to clean one of those muzzle loaders. We adapted that process into smokeless, well, I take that back, black powder cartridge rifles. This happens to be a 4590. There probably a couple people have noticed that this is a very weird looking trapdoor. It's no longer a 4570 trapdoor, it's a 4590 trapdoor. What we're going to do, we're going to open the breech up. I've got an empty shell casing here, dead primer in it, put it in the trap. Close up the trap, and then I've got a top secret chemically laden cleaning formula here. It's H2O, also known as tap water. This just happens to be well water, and yeah, we were drinking a beer a few nights ago, so we recycled, being green and everything. Straight down the barrel. If I was to take a guess, I'd say probably 2-3 tablespoons of water. Now we're going to shake it up a little bit. You can actually feel the water on your thumb as it comes down to the end of the barrel. If you're not talking, you can hear it go glug, glug, glug. And we're going to pour it out. This one's actually pouring out pretty clean because I was lazy the last time I was out shooting about 3 weeks ago and didn't clean it. Looking down the muzzle, it's still pretty gnarly in there. Let's do it again. Alright, so if you did this right after you'd shot, you'd get a little bit different result. I'm getting pretty clear water out of here. But if you've just been out shooting, you get your first slosh should be jet black. We're going to be shooting some more today, so maybe we'll take a little short film of what it looks like to clean it right after shooting. Got some patches here. These are just the cheapest ones I could find off of Midway or Amazon, or basically whoever had the best price. Quality cleaning rod, that's one place I didn't skimp. This is a Montana Extreme cleaning rod, and I've got one of their Montana Extreme Jags, which fits a .458 caliber a lot better than the ones you'll find at Walmart or other so-called sporting goods stores. Yeah, it'd been a while since it's been cleaned. First patch goes down. There is rifling in there now. Imagine that. Second patch. You notice I'm not having to push on it very hard at all, except in the very breech where you do get some crusties where your ignition is starting. And of course the patch goes flying across the yard. Three patches, and if you'll notice, we haven't added anything to the patches. I haven't added any additional water. I haven't added any fancy cleaning chemicals. I've not added any hot soapy water. And you can feel your chamber when you're going down. I like to give a little additional cleaning action right in there. And let's see if we can just pull this one straight out. So that's three patches. If we were in a target shooting scenario, this is actually too clean. Right now I'm ready to run some Vigilante gun grease down it and call it good.
How about some patches? I got you some lubed up patches.
Alright, so actually Dan brought me patch lube, which is a little heavier than gun grease. All natural ingredients. Doesn't turn into sludge with black powder.
And it works very well as a pre-swabbing for your barrel to get a little additional lube in there to help keep your fouling down while you're shooting. So since we're going to be shooting, I figured that was appropriate.
Yeah.
And we have found that the trick with the patch lube to get her to work real nice with as a pre-swab is to give it about 3 swipes up and down the barrel. Seems to work it all into the rifling real nice, and you can go more if you like or less if you like, but 3 seems to be the magic number.
There's 2. And I'm going to flip it over. I got a bunch of stuff out of breech there. 3. And it actually does get progressively easier. Some of that is because of your patches wearing in. Some of it is it has a tendency to pull out miscellaneous stuff you missed in the cleaning process. You'll probably see there's some light coloration on that patch. And that's about it. Coat the exterior of the gun with high quality gun oil and put it away or continue shooting.
Let's shoot. Hey, I'm Dan from Vigilante Bullet Lube, and my shooting part, Sterling from Ram Mountain Armory, is coming to his seat since it's just the 2 of us out here. So we're getting ready to do a little shooting today and burn up some old ammo left over from hunting season, so we have all of our cases, can get everything cleaned up and ready to go before the Quigley matches here. We figured since we were setting up and doing it, it'd take a minute to talk about our equipment and stuff that we're using out here. We know it wasn't that long ago. We were both new to doing any competition stuff, and I know there's people out there that are saying, hey, I want to go do this, so what do I need to go do it? So pretty basic. We're going to start with safety stuff here. We got some hearing protection, even though these aren't as loud as say a 300 or 338 or something like that. They still are loud enough to cause permanent hearing damage. And myself, I go through a lot of them, and I usually just do the bulk Walmart special foamy earplugs, and it tells you right on the back that they're good to 32 decibels. However, to hear what anybody's saying to me for years of shooting without hearing protection, I do got to take my earplugs out to see what other people are saying. Sterling's went a little different route with his hearing protection.
Yeah, these are actually a set of lockers, outlaw earmuffs. They've got built-in amplifiers and speakers, microphones, all that jazz in them. So they automatically cut out when they sense a pressure spike. It's not really the sound they're after, it's they're after the pressure spike, and they cut out. I'm not a huge fan of these if I'm shooting smokeless powder, such as 30-06, 300 Red Mag, whatever. They don't seem to offer quite enough protection. These are rated for about 25 decibels. For the black powder guns, they're perfect. They've got excellent protection. You can still hear what's going on at the range, especially if you get dropped into a situation like I do where I have to babysit occasionally. And I'm not talking about kids this tall, I'm talking about kids that are 6 foot tall. Yeah, sometimes it's very important to be able to hear what you're doing at the range. Probably shouldn't have said that. There's a few people out there that don't know exactly what I mean.
But new shooters.
Yeah, you know, it's all in good fun. Let's put it that way. Something else that is critically important, any type of firearm you're shooting, I don't care if you're shooting my trapdoor that's been modified to 4590. Dan's got a Shiloh Sharps there. Both of these guns are in extremely excellent condition, despite the fact mine is over 100 years old. This is the modern production. They're both rated for what we're shooting out of them, so everything's safe there. However, they're made by man, and man sometimes fails. If there is a failure, where is all of that gas and brass going to go? And it's straight into your face. So you want to be wearing eye protection. Polycarbonate lenses are a must as far as eye protection goes. If you wear prescription glasses, at least get polycarbonate lenses put in them if you're going to shoot with them on. If you're wearing glass lenses and it shatters, yeah, you don't want that to happen. But yeah, so basic ear protection, eye protection. Some of the kit we've got out here, this is kind of our target shooting kit. We've got a nice quality spotting scope set up there. We've got a stump to set on for the spotter. It's got a set of shooting sticks there that are, that's the classic design is what I would call them. You stab them into the ground with a couple of spike nails. They stay put pretty good.
And I added this.
Yeah, he's rigged up there.
He's adjustable, so I can stretch these guys way out if I want to get lower, to get higher, or for you know, if I got one of my kids shooting, I could adjust it to where it'll drop down more, and one set of shooting sticks can get used by multiple people.
Mm-hmm. That's the simplest version I'm going to say, and the reason they're a little simpler is because they stay put once you drive them into the ground. Some places we shoot, that can be the hardest part of using them, is getting them set.
Yeah.
I went a different route and copied somebody else's idea. I'm glad to admit, made my own modifications to it, but my sticks actually don't have anything in the bottom to hold them together. They are actually designed to shoot closer to the sticks. I put one of my feet in it, rest the rifle across. They're free moving, which I like personally. I don't like the rigidity of the nailed down sticks. So there's some advantages to them, and of course there's some disadvantages. These sticks fall over. They don't stay there, so you've got to be more in control of your rifle when you're using them, more conscious of where it's pointed, more conscious of where it would fall if they failed. That's something with those sticks that you don't have to be as acutely conscious of, but you should still realize that they can fall out of the ground, and where's your muzzle going to go, where's the bullet going to go. Obviously you always want it downrange. So with that being said, I think that kind of covers it, and yeah, I don't think we set all of this stuff up just to talk. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, let's make some smoke. So we got targets set up way over yonder.
Well, they're not that way over yonder. What do we figure they were right at 200 yards or something?
Right around there. And we got a bit of a shadow on them.
Better.
Better.
It's the spotter's fault. Plates do sound cool when you hit him. You gotta hit him first. Watch me miss it. Oh.
Go adjust the camera, you do it again. That'll do.
Sounds right now.
It's in there. Hit it a few more times.
Huh. Oh, aren't we supposed to be sitting here with blow tubes and swabs and all sorts of nonsense and 5 minutes per shot? What barrel school?
Nah, we're shooting vigilante bolt lube. We bought them to shoot.
The problem is, I knew there was something wrong with this picture. That's why I missed those first 3 shots. I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, can't blame it on that one.
Wind change, you're just off the right hand corner.
Yeah, that was me. Oh, and we changed bullet type too.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is what I started out shooting, a 535 grain Postel, and like we said, this is kind of getting rid of miscellaneous to reload what we needed. So this is leftovers from load development and other experimentation. Yeah, the difference between a 535 and a 500 grain bullet appeared to be, to my eye, about a foot. First clip him?
I don't think you clipped him. I think it went right under him and threw dirt up, or right over him.
Yeah, I think we're getting into some stuff here that genuine bona fide miscellaneous.
I didn't see a mark.
Yeah, I was hoping I'd see a splash. That's a 500 grainer. Alright, so we took a little break there and went out and painted our targets. Let me zoom in on them here so you can see what we're actually shooting at. So we got a circle on the left and a diamond on the right. Those are 12-inch squares and we're at roughly 200 yards. We actually didn't laze this location. We're taking a wild guess on it based on what our sights are doing. Yeah, we're somewhere around 200 yards. I've had a little fun. Kind of ran out of the ammunition I prefer, so it's getting kind of unimpressive down there, and we're going to let Dan Hiley shoot at him for a while. Get my ears on here. They look bigger in life through that spotting scope.
Oh yeah.
Right or left?
Right.
Okay.
Where'd it hit?
Do it again. Come right to. We do have a bit of a crossbreed that's popping up every now and then.
Where'd that one go?
Zipped right over the upper left-hand corner, so the wind drifted you to the left. Probably need to come right a little more. You're climbing too, so hold low. First two impacts were bullseyes, except for the windage. Back in the middle.
Where you got the camera set at?
It's at the same place it was. Yep. Windage is good.
You want to zoom it in on the target a little bit?
Yeah, let me see what I can do back there.
Ready?
Ready.
Wind change. Where'd he go?
I didn't see it. Alright, I'm going to put this back on target here and go spot again. Do my job.
Wind picked back up. I'm gonna try one at that round one. We ain't shot at him any.
I shot at him earlier just because I didn't hit him. I messed up my pretty paint job.
He sounds different.
Okay, you are good on elevation. You're 3 inches left of the bullseye.
Now wind's coming the other way.
Yeah, we are definitely having fun with the wind. I'm sure you can hear it on the camera. And a ballistic coefficient of these bullets is roughly a 0.2 or so. So they don't exactly buck the wind. We're dealing with wind conditions that are 5 to 10 mile an hour. They're making, you know, at 200 yards here, we're seeing drift up to 6 inches because of wind. We're not in a real heavy wind, but it's gusting. We don't have many markers out here because all the grass is dead and been chawed off by the elk. So yeah, we're having a little fun. Not to mention, it's swirling. Give you the full picture again.
I nicked him on the side. Back to that diamond, he gives a little more generous space.
Whatever you say.
I seen it.
I didn't.
That wind's swirling around on us today.
Yeah, it's about 5 mile an hour at those targets, I'd say. Alright, I got junk ammunition to get rid of here. Let's see how many times I can miss that circle.
Alright. I was aiming for that stick.
Uh-huh. I'm sure. I got some oceanfront property in North Carolina, too. Or would you rather have the piece I got in Arizona? Oh, I can see that thing now. Amazing what black paint does.
Yeah, you may hit one of them. I have no idea where that went.
I think I hit the stand. I saw that one go over.
Over?
Yeah, it went over the top of it.
Oh, barrel is a little warm.
sure where those are going. I'm hearing them hit metal. I'm not sure.
Give me a spot.
Maybe for one around here. I think I'm clipping it, but I can't tell where.
You're shooting at the round one, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Any track?
What bullet are you shooting?
Those are some 500 grainers, and I don't know what's in them either. Like I said, these are need to be empty. Somewhere close to the center based on the sound.
Yeah.
Last one.
All right. Put this one where I can see it good. High and left.
Real. Same hole as the last one.
What one mine?
That should be entertaining.
Remember mine kick.
Oh, mine.
Alright. Thank you for the line. Another one?
One more. How high?
About a target.
Alright.
Right under it.
12 inches of a mighty small target out there.
I don't know.
Not sure either.
I think our wind just changed direction on us too.
Could be. That's enough for me for a moment.
Oh, I got a couple more here. I'm gonna burn them upside clean cases.
Alright.
I think I need to do a little offhand.
Woo. Warm.
Hi.
Yeah, you clip the top edge of it. I heard it tink. Round or square?
I have no idea where that one went,
I don't either.
but I know the light has changed on me. There's 3 left. You want them?
Not out of that rifle. Oh, you're gonna make me shoot this heavy bastard offhand, aren't you?
Oh yeah. I brought 3 of them for you.
Oh, joy. Ah. Alrighty. Oh.
I think he scared it.
It should have scared it.
Which one were you shooting at?
Right hand one. I think that one was low.
I think it was.
Never claimed to be world's best offhand shot. Yep. Had to figure out what the hell I was doing. Wouldn't have anything to do with the fact I haven't shot all winter.
It's too cold to shoot. That we could tell where it was hitting with all the snow.
Yeah. Alright, well hopefully some folks out there get a chuckle out of us missing targets out there. One thing I do want to point out again is that, yeah, we just emptied out a bunch of brats. It wasn't the best ammunition in the world. A lot of this is left over from low development that I had in my belt today. So it kind of walked all over the place, which I expected it to do. Let's see what I've got here.
Hunting season and
Miscellaneous.
playing. I fired a few shots. No blow tubes, no swabs. And as promised, when we get done here, we'll clean up the guns. I expect it'll take me about 5 patches. It'll spec the water.
So I had 18 rounds here that I shot. For the most part, the gun is going where you point it based on what's inside the case. And like I said, these were leftovers from low development, so there was some velocity variation and whatnot. But there's no decrease in function for the firearm. It's retaining its accuracy. Some of the shots I've seen it out there when Dan was shooting and I was spotting, we're at 200 yards. He's shooting 1 MOA at that distance. Till the wind caught him. You know, that happens. We're working with big, slow-moving bullets that they just don't buck the wind. With a 30-06 standing out here, we'd be looking at, you know, with a scope, okay, hold a little bit on the other side of the crosshair type conditions. With these rifles, we're talking 4, 5, 6 MOA conditions. And the way the wind's changing, there's not enough time to actually dial that into the sights and take the shot. By the time you've done that, you've already lost the wind or it's switched directions. So we're doing it all on the fly and all based on the size of that target out there. And we're a little out of practice. It's been a long, cold winter and there hasn't been a lot of shooting. So like I said, hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, 18 rounds plus whatever he threw me out of his belt there. Over 20 rounds, no cleaning, gun still shooting good.
I'm going to take his earplugs out. Quit hollering at everybody.
Okay, so what I wanted to show you here was we got the 2 muzzles of these rifles we were shooting today. And you can see on the left muzzle, this is the trapdoor that's been modified to a 4590. I don't know how it's going to show up in the camera, but we've got a lube star all the way around the crown of the muzzle, and this is with a 32 5/8 barrel. With the Shiloh, Dan already wiped his off. You know how kids are. But you can see on his palm there where he wiped it off, the lube star and the grease. If you're shooting BPCR and you aren't getting lube that's carrying all the way to the end of the barrel, last 6 inches are going to lead, and you're going to have major problems.
Hey, as promised, we're going to run through a quick cleanup on these after we did all that shooting. I shot most of the belt ammunition. Same thing that Sterling had done earlier. We're going to take an empty casing, place it into the chamber of the gun, close the action. Our recycled bottle and a slosh of water down the barrel.
Ah, she's thirsty.
She's thirsty. So I'm going to plug that with my thumb, slosh it around a little bit, and dump out the nasty black stuff coming out of there. And I like to give it a double slosh. And if you're shooting real black powder, just water neutralizes the corrosive components inside that's left over in your barrel after you shoot it. So you can see now it come out just slightly off color. Kick that empty case out.
Well, you can always leave that case in there and clean that case while you're at it.
Good.
Not like I've never done that before. You wonder how that case got so clean inside.
So there's one, and I am pushing those bullets pretty hard, so I get a few little sparkles that come out with that. I think when we chronograph those and going by a ballistic chart at distance, I'm right in that 1400 foot per second with a 535 grain new postel, and I'm shooting a 85 grain powder charge. So basically I'm just wiping stuff out. There's 2 patches. And since the Sterling bought the 535 grain new postel, I wanted to get the opportunity to play with the different bullet weight a little bit. I think he's a little light. Of course, he does a good job on gophers.
Works much better than a 500 grain.
Yeah. So mostly what I'm doing is I'm just drying out the barrel. You can see how clean these patches are coming out. This one here is just got a little speck gray on him here and there. And I'm going to call that good enough for a quick field cleaning. Left a little speck of carbon in there, not a lot. We've got most of everything wiped out. Patches are coming out mostly clean. And do we have some patch lube or something handy? Gun grease?
I have no idea where you put it.
I don't either.
I think this is what we were using earlier.
Patch with a little gun grease on him. He will help keep it from rusting and crawl around in there and pull out any carbons and stuff that are left over. And of course it's all natural like the rest of the Vigilante products. If few swipes up and down. You can see he pulled out crud, just wiping him up and down the barrel. So I'm going to call this good enough for now. Session there. I don't know if we can see down this barrel.
Well,
Alrighty.
not really. All right, so if you're interested in the Vigilante products and like to have your black powder rifle be able to shoot 20, 30, 40 rounds at a shooting session, not have to clean it every time, go on over to Facebook, check out Vigilante Bullet Lube on Facebook, and I'm Ram Mountain Armory. You can find me on Facebook as well. Yeah, my page is kind of, it doesn't get updated very often, but there's probably some interesting stuff on there for you to crawl through. Well, see you later.
5 patches and a little speck of water.
While we thought we were done shooting for the day, I was going through some reloading supplies, cleaning grass and all of that after our shooting session. Found another cache of experimental ammunition. These are just under 500 grain bullets. They are set up with a paper patch. So the bullet has been undersized to a bore, wrapped in paper. And when we were setting these up, it was about 10 below zero. We shot 2 or 3 of them, put them aside.
Your ears on?
I have my ears on.
I'm hot.
So, yeah. Part 3 of a shooting session for today. By God, I believe you missed it.
High or low?
I have no idea. Right hand target?
Yeah.
Sounded like it hit to me.
Sound like one to me too.
Target rocked all over the place. Bonafide miss. And it was, I believe, a windage miss. I'm not sure though.
Okay. I do feel a little wind.
Okay, you need to come up a half a target, or a quarter of a target actually, and go left a half a target.
I'll go a little more. I just feel that wind picking up. I think I got a bulgy case. I got a bulge case.
Nice.
My wind is about where we started at.
Okay.
I'm gonna go take care of this fuck face.
because I can't see nothing. That's what you see. See if I can raise some dust for myself down there. Maybe I'll see it. Correct. Or maybe I'll just hit it. Does shoot a lot flatter.
That was a hit. You got about almost zero value wind right now.
Yeah, it's nice for a change.
I have no idea.
I think that was a little left. Like to change again. That. Gosh, that works better when you don't pull it.
I don't know if I hit it or not. I think I might have nicked it.
No mark on them on my ears.
Those are stinky.
Yeah, they are. They really do smell bad. I gotta say, they don't shoot horrible.
No?
It's interesting on the recoil impulse of these rounds. It's only a 500 grain bullet. The actual impulse is lasting longer than the 530 grain bullets that are grease screwed.
Yeah.
It pushes. It feels like it's gonna shove you completely over, but it's not as sharp.
Nope, it's a nice, it's actually kind of an easy recoil off of it.
Nice little plinker load, I'd say. Oh, except when you miss with it.
Yeah, when you miss, they don't do as well.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting experiment. That cleaned me out of them.
I'm out of them.
Alright. I got brass to clean.
They're shooting nice and clean.
Speak for yourself. Oh, ye of the short barrel.
So what we ended up doing was we took it was like a 485 grain mini grease groove bullet, and we cast them up out of some range pick lead that was like dead soft. And what we ended up with was roughly a 500 grain bullet. We sized them down to 451, paper passed them to try it out to see if we wanted to go back in and evaluate them whether or not we wanted to go buy the bullet mold to actual do real paper patch bullets and try them. This result, we started messing with this past winter and then kind of parked it. Kind of the same result that we had this winter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of touch and go. And the idea behind it was I didn't want them for really target shooting, but to be able to run at dead soft lead and utilize the buffalo rifle to go out elk hunting and chasing Bambi.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, nice cool afternoon. The wind has finally died down to almost zero value, and yeah, some of them go exactly where you plant them. Some of them don't. There's a lot of flyers in them. It could be because we
Yeah, it was
put
our
them so
first.
through so many processes. We went from 460 diameter bullets to 451, which has an effect on them. They're a
Our,
grease groove bullet, so they're not a smooth bullet. They're not
yep.
necessarily designed for a paper patch. I think the only way we're really going to find out if we like a paper patch bullet in our rifles is we're going to end up with a paper patch mold, or either that, or we're going to buy a box of real bullets from somebody that's already casting them. And I think we've got results good enough to say that it's going to be continued. Probably some more development on here,
With the proper bullet. And we got to
yeah,
make sure our lube cookies. We had various thicknesses on those, but it was an idea to go out and check it, go out and try it out, see how it worked. I hadn't really messed with paper patch bullets before. Really wasn't interested in it. Um, I think it was worthwhile to take a look, and
it's got potential.
it's shooting nice and clean.
Yeah, they do shoot clean. You don't have any lead contact on the barrel. You've got a big fat cookie of lube underneath the bullets, so they're lubricated nicely. But on the other hand, there's so many variables that come into play on a paper patch system for reaching out to 800 yards and beyond. The question arises, are we just shooting ourselves in the foot? We've got a grease groove bullet that's going to be exactly the same every time because we're set up to load it exactly the same every time versus a paper patch bullet that we've just introduced, 5 variables in that we really can't control. So, I don't know. We'll play with it some more, and if we get something else going, yeah, you'll see it on here.
Stay tuned.